Hey, good morning. Welcome to another week of move sessions. I was feeling pretty stoked to get in here today, actually. I'm so addicted to the gym right now, and not so much to running. But yeah, I mean, I got out this morning for a run because I met my friend Kathy. Yesterday I bailed on my run. I had some reasons, but I'm loving the gym. I'm loving how lifting weights can make you feel. Like, lifting weights builds you up in so many ways, and one of my favorites is like just your confidence. Like, it just makes you feel kind of invincible. I don't know, do you guys ever get that feeling like I'm so strong and I have like superpowers that, you know, I don't have when I'm not lifting weights? I don't know, it's crazy, but that's how I'm feeling right now. I'm a little bit sore from a session I did on Sunday, and sore, but in such a great way. Anyways, welcome to a move session, and I don't know why I said that. Welcome to today's move session. As we go through the warm-up, which I'm already warm because I had the heater going way too long in here, I just want to remind you that this is your time for you. You're pouring into yourself. This is not a chore. This is not something that you should feel obligated to do in a way that you feel you should feel obligated to work out and take the time to build yourself up. But it should be a time that you feel grateful for, right? Grateful that you can move your body, grateful that you can pour into and build your body up, grateful that you carved out the time today. So on that note, with that in mind, I want to remind you to take everything we do at your pace. Because again, it's your time to pour into you, to build you up. And so if I'm doing anything that doesn't feel right, or the intensity feels too high for you at this given time today, wherever you're at, because one of the things that you want to remember is you want to embrace and accept where you are today. You are where you are. You can only change where you're going, but you can't change where you are right now, right? You cannot change what you did yesterday to get to where you are today, but you can change what you do today to get where you're going tomorrow and next week and next month and next year. So just kind of accept and let go. The first step is, forgiving yourself for any, thing that you regret. Like, let go of those regrets, forgive yourself. Know that you did the best in that moment that you could at that time. And if you've learned that that was the wrong thing, you can change that going forward. And that's what this is about, is, every day learning to what is better for you, what works best for you. And so as I go through the warm-up, I'm going to add some hopping to increase the intensity. And you can join me in that, or you can keep it at this low intensity that I'm doing right now. You can also change anything I'm doing if it doesn't feel good to you. I will try to offer options throughout the session to modify things that I'm doing. And yeah, welcome, and just celebrate you for actually starting today, right? If you're a beginner, a couple options I want to give you is the warm-up is about 10 minutes long. And so if you set your intentions, each day that you join me to get through the warm-up, and that's your 10 minutes, and that's all you do, then that is a perfect place to start, right? And then as you get going and as you start feeling better, and your energy increases, and your strength increases, and your endurance increases, you can start to do the rest of the warm-up, or rest of the workout with me. So that's one option as a beginner. Another option as a beginner is to do the moves that I do without a weight. So don't use any kind of resistance or weights initially. Those of you who've been doing this for a while, I really want to encourage you to lift as heavy as you can manage with good form, because one of the best things that we can do as women especially if we are middle-aged or beyond, is to challenge ourselves by lifting heavy, by not going with 8-pound weights, but getting up to 15, 20, 25-pound weights, maybe more, right? Especially once you've built that base, once you've established the foundation. One of the first steps to me that I think of when we're starting a fitness or a health regimen is working with the mind, because the mind is your biggest opponent in the beginning, isn't it? It's like your thoughts, your doubts, your resistance, trying to shut you down and keep you from becoming a different person, because your brain wants to keep you where you are. So your brain says, where I am is familiar. I know this. I would rather stay in this familiar place, even if it's an unfavorable place. I'd rather take the known than the unknown, which makes me feel unsafe, right? And that's why we shut ourselves down from doing so much. I've been thinking a lot about this over the last week or so. I'm reading Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale, and it is quite a spiritual book. But as I've been going through that, it's just so many really powerful reminders of how our thoughts influence and impact everything in our life. It covers all kinds of different areas of our life and scenarios in our life where we might not be doing as well as we want, from illness, from fatigue, from stress, from financial struggles, from relationship struggles. Like, it kind of hits up all those areas, and then how our thoughts, the way we think, right, the beliefs we choose to embrace impacts everything, all of our outcomes, because they influence our behaviors, right? Like, anyways, that's another tangent. But if we can just believe that where we're going is possible for us, then our actions will be in alignment with that. If we don't believe that where we're going is possible for us, we'll subconsciously just never try to get there, right? So it's like, if you believe a road is closed, right? You believe the 401 is closed, which it is, I believe. You're not going to take that route, right? You're not even going to try, right? And as it turns out, perhaps it has opened up, but you didn't know, right? And so that's how our behavior is. If we think that a road is closed to us, we're not even going to go down that road, right? And that road would be the road that leads us to where we're trying to get to, but we shut ourselves down. Anyway, that's all to say, hey, show up with me. Let me pour belief into you that you can, be the person that you want to be, physically, mentally, spiritually, right? You can be that version of yourself if you just continue to show up and do your best each day, even though that might be nowhere near where you're trying to get to. Right, and I was there a couple of years ago. Those of you who've been doing this with me know this is the truth, that a couple of years ago, I was just trying to get through each workout, just trying to show up and be positive for you as I was trying to get myself back in the game. I had fallen quite a ways from where I wanted to be, essentially. And really, at some point you hit kind of your perceived version of rock bottom, where you're like, there's nowhere to go but up at this point. And that looks different for each individual person, but for me, I had hit a point where I knew if I didn't do something, I was gonna, in my mind, fall further down, and I'd reach like a point of no return. You're never truly at a point of no return unless you're dead, then you're kind of at a point of no return. But like if you are still alive and kicking and breathing and putting your feet down on the floor each day when you get up, you are not at a point of no return. Whoops, it would help if I turned this on. All right, we're going to start with step ups, because I was going to say we haven't done those in a while, but I think we did those last week. I actually got to open my door and let some air in because I overheated the garage. All right, so if you are new, if you're just starting with me, you haven't done, you're brand new, you're going to grab a step, or perhaps you have stairs in your house. You can use, I've used a cooler that doesn't have wheels. You can use a bench, anything that you can step up on, and we're going to be doing step ups like so. If you have been doing this for a while, you can grab a weight. I am going to grab my 30-pound ball for the first round, and we're going to do 8 to 10 per side. So where I want to go in here is towards heavier weights with lower reps. So let's go. So we're starting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then we're going to flip to the other side. So again, I want to emphasize, and if you don't believe me, you can go back and look at my old videos. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can go back and look at my old videos from the beginning. I was very different looking than I am now. Very different feeling than I am now. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do is we're going to do sets of 4 exercises. So next one's going to be what's called all the RDLs, Romanian deadlifts. You're going to grab a weight. So you can use dumbbells, kettlebells. If you have a barbell, you can use a barbell. You're going to have the weight. We're going to start like this. The cue is you're going to pretend you're closing a door with your bum. Okay, so pretend you're closing the door behind you with your bum, and you're going to close it, and you're going to lean forward and come back up. So I'm going to grab my 25s to start. All right, ready? So we're going to do 10 of those. So we're closing the door with our bum. So 10, 9, 8, so bringing that butt back, 7, 6, knees are relatively straight but with a slight soft bend, 5, 4, chest is out, 3, belly's pulled in, 2, you should feel that in your bum, and am I ever, because my butt is still sore from the other day. Okay, that's exercise 2. Okay, and then our third one, I'm going to save those for the next round, is going to be, I'm looking at my, we're going to do side squats, okay? So we're going to do 10, so 10, I lied, we're going to do 16. That's 8 per side. All right, so I'm going to grab 2 weights. Again, if you are new, these will get your butt every single time these get my butt. So if you're new, you're going to want to do these without weights. Okay, and we're going to step. I'm going to angle myself. So 10, 9. We're trying to get deep into that squat. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, you can have your weights down. 3, I just want to make sure your chest is up. 2, which I do better if I keep the weights up. 1, I don't know where I started. I lost track of my count, so I'm doing 4 more. 2, because I'm feeling these. 1, I went a bit heavier with the weight this time on those. Okay, that's round 1, because we did 1, 2, and then we count each side as 3, 4. Woo! Heart rate's up on those. I forgot I was gonna, so I just want to encourage you that you got to start somewhere, right? And so if I think about where I started a few years ago, I was at my version of rock bottom, you know, and it had taken me a number of years to slip down to that place. And it took me about twice as long, maybe 3 times as long to claw my way back out. For a number of reasons, and I may have shared this story before, but essentially, now looking back, it was a number of things all coming together to work against me all at the same time. A result of my own doing, like number 1 was a very slow and gradual, I'm going to call it addiction now, to alcohol, to wine. Now, was I what most people think of as an alcoholic? No, not even close, right? Not even close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But what most people would probably accept as a normal drinker is what I was, which is a bit scary because I think many of us are functioning alcoholics, as the term goes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's something that happened over really like a number of years that occurred. I'm forgetting my next, the RDLs. I was like, what did we do next? Just letting my heart rate come down a little bit. That was one problem. Another problem was I was so aggressively pursuing my best. So intentions were really good. I was eating, so 10 vegan at the time, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and I am not coming down on the vegan diet. A plant-based diet is, you know, arguably by some one of the healthiest ways to eat. That's not at all what I'm saying, that it's not. The way I was doing it was not for the amount of training that I was doing at the time. I was training really hard, like pushing the boundaries. Looking back now, way overtraining. At the time, I was pushing limits. I was discovering I was capable of so much more than I ever thought I could do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more, 2, last 1. Okay. I did mean to show you an option if you're a beginner. What you can do instead of going all the way into those lunge style, you can just squat to the side. What you're really trying to do is put the weight on this squatting leg. So you can even just do side to side squats in the beginning. Your legs might not be at the point where they're strong enough to work singly. That's what we're working towards. At the same time that I was trying to discover if I even had limits, right? Do I have limits? I don't know. I was really inspired by just finding what was possible. And I found that all the limits that I had in the past were just a fraction of what I was able to do. But simultaneously, I was not eating enough. I was not fueling my body. So initially, it was great because in the beginning, your body has, full stores. Like, so if you think of it, it's like you start out having a full gas tank, right? Like your minerals and vitamins and everything, your body's, my iron, everything was like topped up. And then I basically depleted it, but wasn't replenishing it as I was doing all this training, wasn't eating enough. And you don't feel it initially, right? So when you're not eating enough in the beginning and you have those stores, your body's like, no, I'm good, because I got stores. Like, if you got a full gas tank and you don't top up your gas till you're down to check gauges, like your car doesn't stop functioning, right? It keeps going. But if you try to run it on check gauges, you get into trouble real fast, and that's kind of what happened. Is I was running really well until I wasn't, and so simultaneously I was nearing my later years, like my probably perimenopausal, like where the body was about to start experiencing some changes or was preparing to experience some changes, and meanwhile I had run it into the ground. And so I suffered a huge basically physical crash hole. I dug myself into an enormously deep hole, and honestly I speak about this because I'm not the only one that does such things. And I had no clue I was doing it at the time I was doing it. And so I share the story to encourage women to feed their bodies, and particularly if they're demanding from their bodies. Woo! Because you can't do both. Anyway, I dug myself into this hole, and I kind of lost myself. I couldn't figure out, because I couldn't do any of the things that I had I was used to doing. So I couldn't run long distance. I lost all my speed and fitness. I was slower than molasses. Like I had again, I was running on fumes, so you can imagine. I stopped training. I kind of went into a mental funk because I fought it for years. I couldn't understand what was happening. I just thought I just needed a break. I just needed rest, which I did, but I needed like years of rest, not a couple weeks of rest. So I kept trying to get back. But 5, 6. So I kind of dragged it out. We're doing 8 more. Just taking a little moment here. Okay, 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So I took a hole that was pretty deep, last one, and I dug it deeper. And I still remember there was a series of races that I had signed up for that I could not get myself to the finish line of. It got worse and worse. And I finally reached out to a coach, and he helped me get me back on the tracks, but not the tracks I was on before. And honestly, until probably this year, so this all started a solid decade ago, until like this year, I haven't felt the way I felt before that. And I come to this place now with a different wisdom and respect for the body and the demands that we place upon the body, whether you're active or not, but especially if you're active. Okay, we're going to split squats next. So these guys, I'm gonna grab my blues, not the blues. Okay, so we're gonna go for 8 to 10 each side. You may feel a burn, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was going to say you want to push through that burn. 9, last one, and 10. I want to say to you, if you're a beginner, that you can keep your foot on the floor and do split lunges like so. If you have a step you're using, you can vary the depth of, or the height of the step. This is the one I'm using today. I don't always use this one, and the front leg is the one doing the work. 2, 3, make sure that knee, 4, 5, get your balance, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. You want to make sure that knee is not sliding in front of your toes. You want that knee back. You also want to try to keep your trunk upright as much as you can. That's going to require some core strength. So next up, we're going to go into goblet squats. So you're going to lift a weight if you can. You're going to hold it like a goblet. I always think of you know those middle-aged movies about the Middle Ages where they're in the castle and they drink from those huge like goblets. That's what I think of when I think of goblet squats. What am I going to use? I'm going to go for the 220s. All right. So because I'm holding 2, I'm going to hold them like this. Okay. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I feel like we forgot our deadlifts on the last set, so we're going to do those now. If we didn't forget them, we'll just have an extra set in our repertoire. But did I forget them? I don't know. Okay, so closing the door behind us. 10, 9, 8, 7, chest is out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. If we did those twice, or an extra set, I apologize. I figured out why my back was bothering me last week. It was from Good Mornings, which we haven't done in here yet, which we're not doing today. Which is good now that I know I can modify how I incorporate those in, but it's like this area of the back. And so now I'm determined that I found a weak point in my body and I want to strengthen it. I found a potential goal for myself. The only problem is, it doesn't exist yet. It's a new race being developed by Candace, who was the creator of the Bigfoot 200 that I did a couple years ago. She is creating a 300-mile race, and I want to do it, but I don't know if it'll be launched next year, and I'm hoping. So I need a goal, you guys. Like, I'm feeling really funky. Like, I need something. I have some goals, but they're not lighting me up quite the same, because they're financial goals, and financial goals don't seem to, you know, they should motivate me. Let me tell you, they should motivate me more than they do, because, you know, you need finances to do all the things that I want to do. I need the money. Where do we start? Split squats? Is that our first one? All right, let's go back to split squats. You know, if I have enough money to do whatever I want, that's about as motivated as I get. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Really what I get excited about is taking women to experience a taste of what I experience on these adventures. And when this 300, I saw the workings of this 300, I thought, you know, I fully don't expect, you know, people to want to do 300s necessarily. 4, 5, I also don't want to do any more of these than I have to. 4, 3, 2, I want to take women to these incredibly epic places, which is what the goal of my retreat is. I saw a saying yesterday that the goal is to have, I'm going to mess up, like I always mess up these things. Your feet dirty, your hair messy, and your eyes sparkling. That is the motto of our retreats. That's what I want to take women to. I want you to get dirty. I want you to get messy. I want your eyes. I want to put that sparkle in your eyes. And I saw some videos of Death Valley this morning, and I thought, if people only knew where I was going to take them, they would be lining up. I would have a wait list to get into this retreat. Like, if people only knew how life-changing it is to go to these places and experience these places that I'm telling you, you would, you know, normally never experience. Okay, goblet squats. Lord help me. I'm going to try a little bit heavier. So we're going for 10. If I only make it to 8, that's okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're not doing 300 miles in Death Valley. Don't worry. And what was my last one? Oh my goodness. Why am I so, I did it today. No, we did the deadlifts. Okay, we're going to do split deadlifts. So RDLs with split weights. So grabbing your board without weights, you're staggering your feet, and you're driving that butt back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Shifting sides. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. If you are feeling this in your lower back, I mean, we are working the lower back. I want you to think of 2 things. First of all, I want you to pull your belly in, because Often when we feel things in our lower back, it's because we're not using our core. It's because our back muscles are doing all the work. If you're feeling it in your lower back and it feels like it's going to seize on you, stop, you know, roll it out, stretch it out, and go into something like a squat instead. The hinge type movements are going to really target the back of your legs, right? The squat is going to encourage range of motion in your hips, and so sometimes I find that helps to combat that. We're working on strengthening this area, which is really important, but you gotta, again, like I said at the very beginning of the video, like you gotta work with where you're at today. All right, and we're going into that set one last time. Oh, the squats, they are my, I'm not gonna lie, they are my nemesis, other than Copenhagen's. I said to my son, I did Copenhagen's on the weekend, I said, they never get easier. Like they never, I've been doing, how long have we, ladies, how long have we been working on these Copenhagen's? Like since the summer. And they don't ever get easier. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, woo! I don't like those, but I do them. I like them a lot. I dislike them a lot less than I used to, but they're still so hard. All right. Squat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Okay. So something else I've been thinking about a lot lately, this just kind of popped into my brain, is kind of on the note that we started with today, which is our thoughts. And I want to challenge you today to become aware of something that I've been working on becoming more aware of, and that is how many times a day you think thoughts about yourself that are kind of derogatory. And so, you know, just now I was doing my squats and I thought, oh, I wish I could get rid of this little pouch right here. And I can, I know exactly what I need to do, and I'm not willing to do it, which is, it's diet. My diet is extremely clean, extremely healthy, extremely, I'm very conscious of everything that I eat, but one thing that I'm very aware of is that hole that I explained, and I'm hyper aware of any dips in energy, poor sleep, or just even like mood, right? Like your mood, like you don't feel motivated. And I know that's all related to, I cannot train the way that I want to train. Okay, let's do those final deadlifts. Sorry, I took a little break there for a second. Did you guys mind? 10, 9, 8, how I feel and how I'm able to live comes before how I look. 4, 3, now I used to say that to excuse my wine drinking and my chip eating and my junk food eating, claiming like that was part of my, you know, enjoying of life. And no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about cutting calories or cutting carbs to a point where it affects my performance, not willing to do that. And so I will cut until I start to feel that depletion, and then I'm like, no, too low, too low. So where I'm going with this is there's a point where we have to accept what our body is. And our body is genetically somewhat predisposed to be a certain way. We're going to do one more because I've lost count. And, you know, I think we're constantly looking at the flaws, right, in our body, and I want to encourage us to stop doing that, because every negative thought that crosses through your mind is breaking you down, and, you know, taking you the other direction. If you can change those thoughts, like, oh, I wish my, you know, belly wasn't. So we're going to finish with some core. We're going to do a set of 100 core. Actually, I'm going to use this. I want to encourage you to catch those thoughts in the moment, flush them, and replace them with a different thought. So instead of saying, oh, I hate this about my body, which is going to happen, I'm going to let that go and then say, I love that my body is strong, and I love that my body is capable, and I love that I'm doing everything I can to make my body as strong and capable as I can. I want you to try to replace every negative thought that you have about your body with that kind of dialogue, right? And it's going to take practice. Okay, you can do this without a ball or weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're doing 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, maybe for you, it's, you know, you hate your saggy arms. Well, those saggy arms might be able to lift, you know, weights or carry groceries or carry your child or carry your grandchild, whatever it is, right? You know, those arms are serving you. So don't think poorly about your arms, right? Okay, so let's do 20 flutter kicks. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 7, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3, 9, 2, 3, 10, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 7, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3, 9, 2, 3, 10, 2, 3. Okay? Feeling that? Right, we're going to come over into plank rockers, which you can do again on the floor or with a ball. Choosing the ball today. Again, you can do these right on the floor. We're going to do 20 rockers. So you're going to be in plank on the floor or on the ball. And you go back and forth. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a break for a moment. We'll do 10 more. Pull that belly in if you're feeling your lower back. It's because your core is not engaged. Okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Okay. We're going to do one that I usually do on the floor, but I'm going to try this on the ball today. So you are going to be on the floor on your elbows in plank, or on the ball like I am, and you're going to dip your knee. Alternatively, you can just hold plank if the knee dips are too hard, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 more. 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Okay, and then we're gonna go back on our back for the last 20. I haven't done these in a while. You have the weight in front of you. You're going to be in a V-sit position and you're going to lift up and over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, my bum's moving, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Way to go. Congratulations for finishing today, and see you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome afternoon.